Where's the best place you've been to? My business. Every time I go there, my skin glows, my mind grows. It's free to stay there, and it's made just for me. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals, they take us higher.
You're lying in a hospital bed. The pain is unbearable. You trust the doctors to save you, but what if they're not even there? What if nobody tells you? This happened to Esther Thomas, 26 years old. Everyone called her Sunshine. And by January 9th, 2026, she was dead. What killed her wasn't just a medical procedure. It was what nobody told her family, what they discovered too late, and what you need to know before it happens to you.
Hello everyone. So, as you all know, the lady on this screen, her name is Sunshine. I am making this video to let you all know that she just passed on. Yes.
Before we get to how she died, you need to understand who she was, because this wasn't supposed to happen to someone like her, someone young, someone healthy, someone with everything ahead of her. Esther Thomas lived in Nigeria. She created content that millions watched. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, over 600,000 followers hung on her every word. She made skits about real life, about love, betrayal, money problems, family drama, the stuff you deal with every single day. She worked with other creators like Chidera Madu. Together, they were magic. Their timing, their chemistry, you couldn't look away. Brands paid her to represent them because when Sunshine said something was good, people believed her. That's rare. That's power. But here's what made her special. She was genuine. You felt like you knew her, like she was your friend. People described her as bright, playful, someone who could light up any room. Her smile became her signature. That smile, it's preserved in thousands of videos now, frozen in time, because on December 28th, 2025, something inside her body started going terribly wrong.
Today I wish you long life, prosperity, good health, and I also pray that God Almighty should touch your heart so that you give me a space in your heart.
December 28th, Sunshine started complaining about stomach pain. Not normal pain, not the kind you ignore, the kind that makes you curl up, the kind that steals your breath. Maybe you've felt pain like that before, the kind where you just know something's wrong. Your body is screaming at you. For Sunshine, the pain got worse, hour by hour, day by day. And on January 1st, 2026, while everyone else was celebrating the new year, she was being rushed to Orchid General Hospital in Lagos. Her friend Chidera would later tell this story in a video that went viral, his voice shaking, his hands trembling, because what he discovered would haunt him forever.
On 28th, she was complaining that she was having stomach bite. So she told me that she was having a stomach bite, which she told me about, and on the 1st it got worse and she was hospitalized, and a lot of scan was done and test was done, which the doctor said it was fibroid. The fibroid in her system has grown so big.
Here's where it gets dark. Stay with me. The hospital ran tests, scans. They found something. Sunshine had a fibroid, a growth in her uterus. It had gotten big, dangerously big. Now, fibroids are usually not life-threatening. They're common, especially in Black women who get them 2 to 3 times more often than other women. Most of the time, doctors can handle fibroids. They cause pain, heavy bleeding, discomfort, but with proper treatment, women recover. They go on with their lives. But Sunshine wasn't getting proper treatment. They admitted her, put her on medication, pain relief, that's it, just enough to dull the agony, not enough to fix what was killing her. Days passed. Her family watched her suffer. They asked questions. They begged for help. Why wasn't anything being done? Why was their daughter, their sister, wasting away in that bed? Then Chidera noticed something. No doctors around. He asked a nurse. And that's when they found out the truth that should have been told to them on day 1. The doctors were on strike, and nobody had told the family. Let that sink in. Your loved one is dying. You're trusting the hospital to save her. And for days, she's been lying there with nothing but pain medication because the doctors aren't working. And you had no idea. Can you imagine that moment? That rage? That helplessness?
Yes, medication was going on and they were just putting her on pain relief without we knowing that the doctors are on strike. The doctors were not active. So when I arrived on the 2nd, because it was on the 1st that she was hospitalized, when I arrived, I noticed that there was no doctor and nobody was there with her. So there was no doctor. I asked one of the nurses, what is going on? Why is she still on pain? For like 2 days now, she has been here. She's still on pain. The nurse said the doctors are coming. Not until I found out that no doctor was there. I have to move her out from that general hospital to Havila Hospital.
January 2nd, 2026. Chidera made a decision. He transferred Sunshine to a private hospital, but time was already gone. Days of proper care evaporated. The new hospital looked at the scans, confirmed what they already knew. The fibroid was massive. It had to come out. Surgery was the only option. Now, let me explain what Sunshine was facing, because up to 80% of women will have fibroids by age 50, most of them. Nothing serious. But when they grow, when they reach a certain size, they become dangerous. Sunshine had all the symptoms: severe pain, pressure, the kind of discomfort that makes living impossible. Surgery becomes necessary. And there are different ways to do it: through the abdomen, through small incisions, through the cervix. Each method has risks. Bleeding, infection, damage to other organs, complications from anesthesia. Studies show about 5% of women have complications after fibroid surgery, most of them minor, some severe. But here's the thing you need to understand. Death from fibroid surgery is extremely rare. Thousands of women have this done every year. They recover, they go home, they live. So what happened to Sunshine?
And the doctor started from there and started treating her. Sometimes it will stop, sometimes it will start up again. And the doctor said we need to carry out the operation so that the pain will stop, which we later agreed on. The pain was getting out of hand. She had to just take it off. And she did the operation yesterday. According to the doctor, he said the operation was successful, but she had complications which led to her demise.
The doctors told her family she needed the operation. They were desperate. Anything to end her suffering, anything to bring her back. They performed the surgery, and according to the medical team, it went well, successfully. The fibroid was removed. The danger was over. For a moment, there must have been relief. Finally, the worst was behind them. Sunshine would heal. She'd go back to creating content, back to making people laugh, back to being the light everyone loved. But then complications developed. We don't know exactly what happened. The family hasn't said. Maybe they don't even fully understand. But in the hours or days after that successful surgery, something went catastrophically wrong. Post-operative complications can be anything: hemorrhage, infection, blood clots, organ damage. Sometimes the body just reacts in ways no one can predict. But here's the question nobody can stop asking. Would she have survived if she'd gotten proper care from the beginning? If those first crucial days hadn't been wasted? If someone had just told the family the truth?
I know who I am. I love who I am. I like what I do, and I like how I do it, and I like my mistakes, and I like the way I learn, and I like the pace with which I learn my mistakes. I don't want to be anybody else but me.
January 9th, 2026. Esther Thomas died. She was 26 years old. The announcement came the next day, January 10th, posted on her social media accounts. The family's words were simple, devastating. We, the family of Esther Thomas, aka a Sunshine, with pain in our heart, we regret to announce the sudden demise of our beloved sister and daughter, Esther Thomas, who suddenly passed away on the 9th of January, 2026, after an unsuccessful surgery. Social media exploded. Fans couldn't believe it. This was Sunshine, the girl who made them laugh, who brightened bad days, who proved you could make it in Nigeria's digital world. One friend wrote about waking up on her birthday to the news, how Sunshine always sang happy birthday to her, how that day was shattered. Another talked about hoping it was fake news, about how much Sunshine had touched her life. The tributes kept coming, hundreds, thousands, because she wasn't just entertainment to them, she was a friend, an inspiration, a reminder that dreams could come true.
People always try to shoot their shots at me. Well, I'm not mad.
Here's what keeps people up at night about Sunshine's death. Why didn't anyone tell the family about the strike? Hospitals have an obligation, an ethical one, a legal one, to give patients complete information. Sunshine's family spent days not knowing. That's not just wrong, that's catastrophic. Could earlier treatment have saved her? We'll never know for certain. But when you're dealing with a massive fibroid causing severe pain, time matters. Every single day matters. What protects patients during strikes? Healthcare workers deserve fair treatment, better conditions, but patients also have rights, the right to proper care. In Sunshine's case, that balance failed completely. Were the complications preventable? Without medical records, impossible to say. But a successful surgery shouldn't lead to death. Something went wrong. The question is what? And could it have been stopped? You need to understand what was stolen from the world when Sunshine died. She wasn't just another influencer chasing likes. She was a genuine entertainer, a cultural voice. Her work reflected Nigerian youth, challenged norms, provided both escape and reality. She worked with major internet personalities, created viral content, built the kind of trust with her audience that takes years. Companies wanted her, fans waited for her next video. Fellow creators respected her. And she was only 26. Think about that. Her best work was still ahead of her. The collaborations she could have created, the lives she could have touched, the conversations she could have started. All of it ended on January 9th. What you need to know right now. Sunshine's death isn't just her story, it's a warning. For you, for everyone. Healthcare transparency isn't optional. You have the right to know everything affecting your care. Strikes, staff shortages, limitations. If a hospital keeps you in the dark, people die. That's not dramatic. That's what happened. Pain should always be taken seriously, especially women's pain, especially Black women's pain. It gets dismissed, minimized. Sunshine's severe pain was a warning sign. It needed immediate action, not just pain medication. Medical strikes affect real people, real lives. Systems must protect patients even when workers fight for their rights. Nobody should become collateral damage. Fibroids are serious. Common doesn't mean safe. When they grow large and symptomatic, women need timely, comprehensive care, not delays, not dismissals. Post-operative care can mean life or death. Even successful surgeries can have complications. Proper monitoring, immediate response. It's the difference between recovery and tragedy. After Sunshine died, social media became her gravesite. Fans shared videos, remembered moments when her content saved a bad day. Fellow creators posted tributes, celebrated her talent. Mourned a colleague gone too soon. Chidera's tribute video, where he explained everything, has been viewed hundreds of thousands of times. You can hear the pain in his voice, the anger barely contained. By sharing the details, he did more than honor her memory. He raised awareness. He demanded answers. The hashtags spread, trending across Nigerian social media. Users demanding answers about Orchid General Hospital, calling for reforms, calling for change. Because if this could happen to Sunshine, it could happen to anyone. Sunshine's death can't be for nothing. Her story has to change things. Medical facilities need to communicate during crises. Healthcare providers need to remember that every case file is a real person with people who love them. If you're a woman with fibroid symptoms, hear this. Be persistent. Advocate for yourself. Don't accept dismissive responses to your pain. Demand comprehensive care. Ask questions. Seek second opinions. If something feels wrong, Trust your instincts. If you work in healthcare, reflect on transparency. Patients and families must be fully informed, always, no exceptions. There's no excuse for keeping people in the dark about a medical strike or anything else. For Nigeria's healthcare system, this is a wake-up call. Healthcare workers deserve fair treatment, but patients deserve to live. There has to be a way to protect both. Mechanisms must exist. Lives depend on it.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals that
Strip away the follower counts, the engagement rates, the tragic circumstances. What's left? A young woman full of life, full of talent, full of promise. She was the friend who sang happy birthday, the creator who perfected her content late into the night, the daughter who made her family proud, the collaborator who elevated everyone around her, the influencer who brought joy to hundreds of thousands of people. Her screen name was Sunshine, and that's exactly what she was, a bright, warm presence that made the world better. For 26 years, she was here, and then she wasn't. How many other Sunshines are out there right now? How many women experiencing pain, seeking help, encountering systems that fail them? How many are being told to just take medication when they need real care? How many families are kept in the dark about crucial information? How many preventable deaths are happening because of communication failures, care lapses, system breakdowns? Esther Thomas's death isn't just her story. It's a mirror. Look at it. Really look. See where healthcare is failing. See what needs to change. Sunshine brought light through her creativity, her joy, her connection with people. Now, in death, her story illuminates the dark corners of healthcare inequality, medical negligence, systemic failure. Don't look away. Rest in peace, Esther Thomas. Rest in peace, Sunshine. Your light was extinguished too soon, but the impact you made, the conversations your story sparked, they'll keep shining. To her family, friends, and millions of fans, she touched lives. She mattered. Her story will help ensure other families don't face this preventable tragedy. The family said, "We are trying to put things in place so we could put her to rest." But you're not at rest right now, are you? Because now you know what can happen. Now you're wondering, could this happen to me? To someone I love? That question, that's the point. That discomfort you're feeling, don't let it fade. Because the next time you or someone you love walks into a hospital in pain, you'll remember Sunshine. You'll ask questions, you'll demand transparency, you'll refuse to accept silence. And maybe, just maybe, that'll be the difference between life and death. What happened to Sunshine could happen to anyone. The real question is, what are you going to do about it?